All right, what's up, guys? So, I think it was a weird coincidence. It was a really weird coincidence. So, I made this hoodie a while back. All right, I made this hoodie a while back. Was looking for it for the longest. Like I knew it was somewhere in my room, and I was like, I didn't know if it was in a clothing pile or if it was in my closet. Checked the clothing pile, wasn't there. Checked the closet, it was there. So I'm like, I should have just started there because that's where most clothes will be at and things. But then I saw this, and I was like, well, you know what? I think it would be fitting I wear this hoodie and I react to this video and stuff. So anyways, court on camera. I like that name. That's cool. But anyways, KKK members reacting to life sentences. Funny. I love it. Let's go ahead, check this out, see how they react to it and stuff. Because, I mean, here's the thing. There's no reason in this, especially in this day and age, there's no reason for anybody in this world to be carrying on like this, where you're a KKK member, racist, whatever the situation is. You should not be carrying on like that, all right? You as a grown adult, act like it. And the thing is this, I know people will probably say some old stuff like, oh, well, there's grown adults in the KKK. I'm like, that don't mean that they're grown. The way that they're carrying on, they're carrying, yeah, it's just a deranged child. I was like, but overall, it's like, no, it's like there's literally so many things that you can do in this world where it's like if you decide to go down this route where you want to be a part of some clan like this, you deserve to get some life sentence. So, but anyways,
KKK members reacting to life sentences. 1. Edgar Ray Killen.
And probably the most high-profile case in the history of this state.
Our first case shook America to its core, with the killer Edgar Ray Killen.
Man,
Now, you might be thinking, how bad can this sweet old man with an oxygen tank tube be? Well, the saying that you can't judge a book by its cover has never applied more. It all started in the town of Philadelphia. No, not that one. The less famous Philadelphia, Mississippi, all the way back in 1964.
Oh, wow.
Though the case didn't close until 2005. The case seemed like your average sawmill operator and part-time Baptist minister. Sounds innocent enough. Unfortunately for the city, he was also moonlighting as a KKK leader.
Wow.
Being a KKK member...
How are you gonna be a pastor for a church and then you turn around and do stuff like this? It's crazy how it's like they look like if there's any KKK members that's a Christian or whatever their religion is, religion is and stuff. The fact that you even consider yourself a part of that, but then you turn around and do things like this, I'm like, that ain't so Christian-like. So, but that's something where it's just, they got something going on upstairs.
That time was a risk of getting a lot of heat, with the Civil Rights Act having more and more supporters, like our 3 victims, James Chaney, Andrew Goodman, and Michael Schwerner.
Oh, I think I heard about this. There's a movie about this. No, there's like multiple people I think that got arrested behind this case. But yeah, no, this man, what's the movie called? They did make a movie out of it. And the villain in the first Spider-Man, the Green Goblin, he was in there. He still looked the same, but dang, I can't think of that movie. Was it Mississippi Burning? It might have. I think it was. No, that's what it was called. That's what it's called.
And had they stayed in jail, their lives might have been spared, as KKK members, ordered by Edgar Ray Killen, were waiting for their release to kill them. Their bodies were found, and their station wagon was found burning, dubbing the case My Burn. At the time, Ray Killen was suspected but released on good reputation for being a preacher. However, the case was reopened in 2005, when a former KKK errand boy, Mike Hatcher, testified that Killen bragged to him about the 3 killings the day after the deed.
Oh, wow.
Although he was 80 at the time, Killen stood trial for 7 days in 2005, before being charged with an unusual manslaughter charge instead of murder for the 3 men.
It's a son
That's
for this
crazy.
That you served 20 years in custody, Mississippi Department of Corrections.
Killen was given 60 years of prison time in total, 20 for each manslaughter. However, Killen would not live to have his sentence carried out, since he died at 92 in 2018 inside a Mississippi state penitentiary after serving 12 years of his sentence. Unfortunately.
Yeah, it's like that man there's like if he's 80 and then they give him okay, well then I think they should have just said murder, prison, rest of your life, boom, good. It's like they trying to get all technical about it and things.
Too many racist murderers in this world.
I guess maybe the reason why they probably did give him manslaughter is because they couldn't really find a whole lot of evidence and they just going based off of somebody's words and stuff, so I guess that makes sense.
Is known as the racist trinity of Travis McMichael, Gregory McMichael, and William.
Oh,
Bryan.
yeah.
On a sunny day in February,
they was a part of the
2020,
KKK?
in Greene County, Georgia, our three culprits twisted a version of the law in their own hands upon seeing Ahmed Arbery jogging peacefully. Greg McMichael, a Glen County.
I just had a feeling they were racist. Now that I think I just recently heard they're trying to like appeal their sentence and stuff, saying like, oh, race didn't have anything to do with it. I'm like, okay, still though, you wrongfully killed somebody because they were jogging and minding their own business. They ain't did nothing to you. Like, that's the thing that trips me out, is that even like with Trayvon Martin, where it's like, and just so many other cases out there where it's like they're not doing anything to you, so why do you feel like you need to take the law into your own hands? That's somewhere I'm like, I'm not even trying to hear nobody's like, oh, well, they shouldn't be. No, it shouldn't be. No, they shouldn't be nothing. You, okay, if you really feel like that your life is that much in danger, stay indoors. But it's like you put yourself in the situation. These guys, you could have been out and about, living your lives, doing your thing. No, instead you're in prison for the rest of your lives. All right, not doing nothing. So, well, doing prison work maybe, but.
And investigator for the Brunswick Judicial Circuit District Attorney's Office, and his son, at that second, decided that Ahmad was a suspect in local burglaries. So instead of doing the rational thing of opening...
And that's the thing where it's like he went into a house that was like, I think, under construction. I think he was just looking around. Like, no, it's like, man was curious. Anybody gonna get curious? They want to just see things they've never seen before, so...
Investigation. Or even simply...
Again, but it had nothing to do with those three guys.
Talking to him, the three men got into a car and ignored all rationality, taking out a .357 Magnum handgun and a 12-gauge shotgun, and going directly after Arbery. Arbery was shot 3 times by the shotgun of Gregory's son, Travis McMichael. Police arrived on the scene quickly enough, but Lady Luck was on the three men's side, as they kept being ruled out for a lack of probable cause, and with a number of DAs recusing themselves from the case, as Greg McMichael had worked in their office. However, after Arbery was cleared of any burglary charges, the three men got back into the suspicion spotlight, with a video taken by William Bryan showing the struggle between Travis McMichael and Ahmed Arbery right before his murder. And you can say Bryan shot himself and his partners in the foot, and his directorial ambitions landed them in jail. The three men stood trial, and to no one's surprise, it was decided that this was a racially motivated attack. All three men received life in prison for felony murder and aggravated assault, while Travis was also charged with malice murder. With a swift hammer of justice, though, Travis and Greg had no chance of parole, unlike William Bryan, who got a chance after 30 years. Given that he's in his 50s, we'll doubt he'll take that deal when he's that old by then.
We, the jury, find the defendant Travis McMichael guilty. We, the jury, find the defendant...
You want to cry. That's what he get.
The defendant Greg McMichael guilty.
Well, it's hard
That's
to
exactly
see a
what he
silver
get.
lining in a 25-year-old.
It's like you wrongfully take a man's life and then you're going to be in the courtroom crying and stuff. Like that,
unjust death. The case did lead to the introduction of hate crime legislation in Georgia. So at least Ahmed did not die for nothing, as the legislation will prevent others from sharing the same unfortunate and tragic fate. Ever seen someone embarrassingly make a scene and just lose it in a public place? Well, sometimes this can turn catastrophic, like Jeremy Christian.
Dang.
Who takes the annoyance of embarrassing public outbursts to a whole new level.
This
But
guy
wasn't
crazy.
one just arguing over a grocery store receipt. In May 2017, Christian was on a public train in Portland, Oregon, and he showed his true racist colors. The train, just like most metropolitan cities, was diverse with passengers of different ethnicities and religions, and apparently this was enough to set Christian off into a frenzy. He started ranting, insulting, and even made death threats clearly racially charged. In an effort to defend their fellow passengers, 2 people, Delishan Mirdin Namkai Mesha and Micah David Cole Fletcher, stepped in to give Christian a piece of their mind over his aggressive and racist behavior. In a horrifying turn of events, after some back and forth, Christian pulled out a knife and stabbed Micah, Delishan, and another passenger by the name of Ricky Best.
Dang.
The scene of the horrific crime was shocking, as Christian fled the scene as if nothing had happened, as if he hadn't just taken the lives of 2 innocent people.
That's
Because
crazy.
of his twisted racism.
That's crazy.
3 years later,
Knowing he wouldn't have did that if a cop was there.
Christian's trial finally began.
He looked crazy, bro.
just
Look
like
at
what-
his hair. I'm like, yeah, this guy, he got like some issues going on. You go off up in a place with a hairstyle like that. Something's wrong in there, all
Those
right?
killers and racists. He had a ton of dirty laundry that got exposed. The case had testimonies from over 40 witnesses, with other charges such as assaulting a black woman in the eye with a Gatorade bottle, and other teenage girls, one of whom was wearing a hijab. As for the train incident, the police and the courts had their hands full, as Christian was charged with 2 counts of murder, 1 count of attempted murder, 2 counts of second-degree intimidation, 3 misdemeanors, and 1 count of possessing a restricted weapon. Christian's crimes were so horrific that one survivor from the 3 attacks, Micah Cole Fletcher, said the difficulty of it was the sleep came with nightmares, including one where he's in a tunnel that slowly fills with blood until he drowns.
That's crazy.
Judgment Day was on the horizon for Christian, as he received 2 life sentences with no chance of parole, and an additional
Like
51
rightfully so.
years for his other crimes.
I went to the blackest high school in Oregon. Where I'm from, we defend ourselves.
You'd think that this would be enough for him
Yeah,
to tone
man.
down and rethink his choices, but murderers like him usually have no reason. As he went on yet another rant inside the court
Yeah, he
against
crazy.
one of the victims directly, threatening to
Oh, I
kill
think
her
I
in
remember
front of
this.
everyone. So it's probably
Yeah.
fair to assume no one had an ounce
Cause I watch like a lot of different court cam shows, so I do remember the part where there was a woman in there where he just started yelling at her and things, thinking like he was gonna really do something. It's all like, bro, like better sit yourself down for the rest of your hair and end up missing.
guilt for his punishment. Portland
that was
witnessed
crazy.
not 1, but 2 shocking murders on our list, though, with the second one being Russell Courtier. True monsters like Courtier are exposed to the public. when a
Dang, is it
simple
like
argument-
some? Cause like Oregon just seemed like it's like a Oregon seems like it's another like Washington state. So like there's really be some like I mean, well, nah, cause I'm like I can't even like ask that question because I'm like there's racist people out here too and stuff. So I used to live down the street from racist woman and stuff. So yeah, the sad thing is that it's just racism is everywhere, and people, you know, just again they shouldn't be carrying on like this, and especially at no like older age and stuff. But even as a kid, but it's just people out there where it's just something wrong with them.
turns into a despicable murder. It started when a random fight broke out outside of a 7-Eleven between Courtier and another man, Larnell Bruce Jr. This isn't your run-of-the-mill street argument, though, as CCTV cameras caught Courtier suddenly running after Larnell Bruce with a Jeep and brutally running him over,
Oh wow.
killing him. We may never know what actually caused this fight, but we have a pretty good idea of why Courtier would do this.
Yeah, you got
As it
tattoos
turned out,
like
he was
that,
part of a white supremacist prison gang
Yup.
called European Kindred. He had the group's logo on his hat, and even as a tattoo on his leg, which is a whole new level of twisted loyalty for something so heinous.
That's crazy.
After his hat was found at the crime scene and CCTV cameras caught him red-handed, he was charged with first-degree murder, and his girlfriend, Colleen Hunt, who was cheering him on in the car, her
Oh,
car,
wow.
by the way, on to run Bruce over, was charged with first-degree manslaughter.
Verdict reads as follows. We, the jury, find the defendant as count 1 murder guilty, second degree guilty.
Gautier set a record for Oregon's first hate crime verdict in 3 decades and received life imprisonment with no possibility of release for 28 years. Life imprisonment is the maximum sentence any killer can get, but it's probably not even enough for Larnell Bruce's mother, who had this to say to Gautier: "You allowed the devil to misguide you and take the life of such a beautiful young spirit. You took that life from us." With most hate crimes being committed by white supremacists against
What about they
people
didn't
of
say it?
color,
I gotta look that case up because I wonder what the wife got.
what happens when those roles are reversed? You get
As to count 4, we, the jury, in the above entitled action, find defendant Corey Ali Muhammad guilty.
Corey Muhammad. Racism charged attacks are racist no matter what race it's against. And in the case of Corey, he had it out for all white people. It all started back in 2017 at Motel 6 in Fresno, California, where Corey shot and killed a security guard, Carl Williams. You'd think he'd stop there. No. He decided to go on an all-out war against white people with the inhuman excuse...
That's crazy, man. It's like, because I just don't get the idea of fighting racism with racism. It's like, I never understood that. All the racist encounters I've had throughout my life, I've never once decided, well, maybe I should be racist back, because that's really showcasing my intelligence. That's really showcasing how, you know, like, oh yeah, it's gonna work and stuff. No, it's not. It's something where I'm like, look, you know, and that's even goes back to when I had, because I don't know like who's gonna be watching this video, whether you're a subscriber or if you're new to my channel. But if you are new to my channel, or even if you are a subscriber but you just hadn't seen that video, but no, it was like, it reminds me of when I reacted to Minnesota Boy and he did his whole like why he hates white people rant. And it's one of those things where it's like, you literally, like, you to throw your life away just for some dumb stuff. Like, oh, okay, I get it. Like, all the, like, history of, like, but that's the thing, though. You can't include every white person in that conversation. You can't include every white person. It's like, oh, yeah, every white person is a racist. And I'm not trying to, like, you know, like use that old saying and stuff where it's like, oh, like, when a white person, they, you know, say the N-word and they're like, oh, I got black friends. But, like, no, the thing is, though, it's like, but, like, jokes aside, I have white friends. They're not racist to me. In fact, it's like they're far from it and stuff. And so it really trips me out where it's like people, they do, like, they fight racism with racism, and it's like you're not gonna gain nothing from it besides being in the same situation as if it was a white person killing a black person. You're going to go to prison. It ain't like gonna be getting treated like a king or a god or something. So it's weird, man.
There is no point in going down for one murder. In his insane killing spree, Corey killed 3 more victims: Zachary Randalls,
That's crazy.
Mark Gassett, and David Jackson. Corey was charged with 4 counts of murder and 2 counts of assault. And although he tried to play smart and claim insanity, he wasn't fooling anyone and got sentenced to 206 years in prison with no chance of parole. We have it on good authority.
And life
he's
without
never
parole,
getting out
pretty
to
much.
hurt anyone.
Yeah.
Ever again.
So, like, because I feel like life without parole, like, they just, I feel like, because, like, you get 200 years, so what, they just keep your remains for 200 years, then once it hits that day, then there's just somebody just take your remains, and I don't know about it. I'm confused by that one, but anyways, but yeah, it's like, people stop being racist. It's one of those things where it's like every time when I talk on like racism, and then of course, you always get those kind of, like, I just posted a video the other day where I just was all like, saying how like white people shouldn't be saying the N-word. Or they'll like be like trying to ask for permission, and then somebody gonna leave a comment talking about, wait, I gotta ask for permission to say it, and I'm like, ignorant. Like, it's people out there where it's like they carry on like that. I'm like, I can see you ain't gonna amount to nothing and stuff. So yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, people, look, being racist ain't gonna get you anywhere. All right, so it's one of those things where it's like all it's gonna get you is a prison sentence. All right, so that's why I'm like, yeah, and then even if it's from leaving a because eventually it probably is gonna get to a point in time where it's like, you know, if you get caught leaving racist comments on YouTube, cops are gonna most likely try to track that stuff down if a person reports it, and then you're gonna be getting in trouble for that type of stuff. So the thing is like I do feel like that eventually like it is gonna, you know, people are gonna start like cracking down on that when it comes to social media because fam, the amount of racism that I've endured with being a content creator, it's crazy. So, but yeah, it's just, you know, but there's people out there dealing with far more worse where it's like, you know, they're losing their life behind them, like, you know, being a race that they ain't got no control over and stuff. So, yeah, it's stupid, man. You know, people are just ignorant. But anyways, make sure if you guys haven't, go subscribe to Court on Camera for more videos like this. Like, subscribe to me too, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.